Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to go over the MLB, analyzing the odds for Monday, October 14th. The first game is between the New York Mets and LA Dodgers. The Mets start off as 1.5 point underdogs at minus 185 cost, minus 1.5 point favorites for the Dodgers at plus 149 cost, and plus 120 for the Mets on the money line, and minus 141 as a favorite for the Dodgers. Yesterday wasn't able to get to the NFL or the MLB video or do a proper decode. Had to travel pretty much most of last week and throughout the weekend. But we're back Monday morning. Let's get started with this decode. All right, here we go. All right, as you can see now, currently the Mets are plus 120, minus 142, depending on the sports book you go with. And the percentage of bets is at 13%. Percentage of money is at 98 on 2%. Excuse me, for the Mets, 2% for the Mets, 13% for the Mets on the betting. The percentage of bets on the money line, the run line looks like this: 11% for the Mets currently, and 6% of the money going with the Mets. However, now the Mets are minus 182 cost, and the Dodgers are at plus 160. Plus 160, but depending on the sports book you go with, if you go with DraftKings, it's a lot of the same. Minus 180, plus 180, plus 160 currently. And yeah, we're going to focus on that. Whereas the betting splits going, there's a more of a detailed analysis of it. Now, the Mets are getting minus 180 cost at only 6% of the money. However, that is increasing throughout the day, which tells you it could be an indicator they may take this on the spread, on the run line. They're only getting 1%, only 1% of the money currently. 1% of the money currently. They have gone up to, they've gone up to 2%. Okay, they've gone up to 2%. And the Dodgers are getting 99% at that minus 142 cost currently. Depending on the sportsbook you go with, some have a minus 145, 137, and 150 for Bet 365 based off this 99%. The only way that stays that way is if this goes over minus 150. That minus 150 is a threshold when it comes to sports betting. I believe that is the only way the Dodgers win this game, is if it goes over minus 150 currently. But the Mets look safe. That 94% paying out this cost minus plus 160. That is a lot of money to pay out. At 94% of the money, 89% of the bets. That is a huge percentage to pay out for the sports books. The only way that's going to happen is if this goes down to less than 80, beneath 80, definitely beneath 85. That is the only way I see this happening, if both go beneath that. Plus 180, minus 185, but you have to see how these odds adjust. This pretty much has to stay the same or maybe decrease to minus 170 because they do have to adjust. They do interdependent on each other. But yeah, the run line looks safe for the Mets in this one. The totals look like this: 8.5 points at minus 105, minus 115. So the unders are getting the larger cost at that 35% of the money, 40% of the betting. But that sweet spot is that minus 105 at 65%. 65%. This is a relatively high total, especially this postseason at 8.5. They rarely go this high this postseason. 65%. That minus 105 is a sweet spot, is a cost, a sweet spot for the sports bettor, 65%. If that stays the same above that 60 or above 70, look out for the over in that one. Let's go with the Cleveland, New York Yankees game. All right, currently the Guardians are plus 136 and minus 162 are the Yankees. 10% of the betting is going in Cleveland's favor. 58% of the money is going in Cleveland's favor. 75%. Previously, it was 75% to 25% of the money on the money line. And that is where we stand right now. 90% going in the Yankees' favor. 42% of the money going in the Yankees' favor at this minus 162. That is above that 150 threshold. And 42% of the money is really nothing to sneeze at when you have such a relatively high cost for baseball on the money line. 93% of the money is going in favor of the Yankees in this one. 90% of the betting. 93% of the money at, let's check the cost, plus 132. Plus 132 minus 160. And Cleveland's only getting 7% of the money, 10% of the betting. They're above that minus 150 and minus 160 on the run line. The underdogs are, now when the sharps go in, they are gonna bet more than likely Cleveland on this run line, especially on the run line. But at that 58% going with the Yankees, going with the Guardians in this one, look out for Cleveland could sweep this game. They could sweep this game across the board. But the only way that happens is if these odds go down. I believe this needs to go probably to not really too far down, probably to plus 136, from plus 136 to plus 130. And these odds have to relatively stay the same. If these odds increase at all, the Yankees look safe. But that's only if they increase. Whereas the total in this one, minus 105 for the over 7.5, under 7.5, minus 115. And 70% is going over of the money, 69% going over on the betting. And yeah, with this cost being so, it depends on most of them are, hold on. Yeah, the unders are, just like the previous game, the under is getting the higher cost currently, except this one's only getting 31%. The under is getting 31% and 30%. The unders are getting around 30%, between 30 and 40%. But that one minus 105 is a sweet spot. The only way I would not go with the overs today is if these odds adjust or flip or go to minus 110. If they go even to minus 110, you may want to go over, depending upon where the sharps go in. If the sharps go with the under, go with the over at minus 110 cost. As they stand, the over looks safe, but if they flip from minus 105 to minus 115, 115 for the over, minus 105 for the under, then you may want to go with the under. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, and may have a parlay or two on the Patreon for this one and the NFL. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care.